We are in Milledgeville, Georgia. We are walking the grounds of the Central State Hospital. We're just exploring on the outside. You're not allowed to go inside, but you can walk around, look at all the different abandoned buildings. Some of them have some signs marking them. This is the Power building. Yeah, we're just not allowed to go into the building. This place is spooky.
It is spooky.
The place closed down in 2010, and there's a whole bunch of abandoned buildings off in the distance. You can tell. I believe it covers 2,000 acres. And this building here is the Powell building. And this is basically the hospital where they would treat insane patients.
Crazy people were just right in there. What, 14 years ago?
All right. Well, this whole area covers about 2,000 acres.
Wait a minute, but I heard there's still like 300 people.
Yeah,
here.
but there's a little section of. I mean, that building looks.
Look at that.
I ain't
Stand
going
right
in
there. I want to take a picture.
Says no trespassing, unsafe building,
Well, we're not going in.
and grounds. All right.
Oh, I mean the grounds in the building. Yeah. That's fine. I'm just gonna go around.
In its heyday, it would house about 12,000 patients here. I think that it was at its peak in the 1960s. And then eventually it closed its doors in 2010. Budget costs and what have you. And they just closed the doors. So, not too sure what building this is, but we're on the back side of the hospital. That's where we parked and came in. We just walked around down this end here, but so yeah, it's all abandoned buildings.
Oh, yeah.
Heading back up to the hospital. As you can tell.
The other end, right?
I do know that there was one lady who was brought here who was labeled a serial killer. Her name was Anjet Lyles. Apparently she murdered 4 of her family members by poisoning them with cyanide. Both her first husband and her second husband, her mother-in-law, and also her oldest daughter, I believe. And she was sent here, and I believe she died of a heart attack in 1977. But she was brought here after they changed her plea from the death penalty and labeled her insane because they didn't want to put a white woman on death row. So she came here basically to live out her days, and she died here in 1977. So we're walking down the street, and you can see where we parked the car. The Powell building is right over there. You can't really see it through the trees. And we just walked down here. This is the Walker building. It was built in 1884, opened in 1886, and it closed in 1974. $40,000 square feet. And the Walker building served as an admission ward for white males. This building was faithfully used to treat patients until it closed in 1974. Not exactly sure where we're heading, but... And there is traffic that goes through here. There's a building over there that seems to be current, and there's people that work there. So there's still some patients somewhere in these grounds that they still treat. Just a couple hundred patients though. But for the most part, all this area right here is closed. And there's another abandoned building here. Still, these buildings at the time, you could tell there's a lot of detail in the construction of these buildings. I mean, look at the columns in the front here. As you can tell by the two posts, there was a sign here. It probably gave a description of the building, so I'm not too sure what building this is. It's in pretty rough shape. Okay, so this is the Walker building, and according to this
one or
map
the other
here,
one?
that will be the green building.
Okay.
That's the green building. This is the Walker building, and then the hospital itself is right here. We're gonna get in the car and just take a ride.
A little bit. I don't know how long ago, but
this is the Cornerstone Auditorium building. Was the 5th oldest institution of school system for the insane in the South and the 14th in the nation.
okay. So the back portion of this building was Georgia Asylum.
Back here. Really? Well, it looks more modern over there, that's for sure. So this front part of the building is part of the original building. But in the back...
So we're probably in the back of it. The front is probably what's redone, and this is what's left of the original.
Right. That's pretty cool right there. Because just right over here, I mean, this whole section right here is obviously barricaded and you're not allowed to go in. This is the original part of the building. But it says here, when you walk on the side, Georgia Military GMC College. Georgia Military College. So obviously, that is way more modernized. Can't really go any further here, but I'm just admiring the detail in the building. The beautiful columns. But this building is in pretty bad shape. On top there, very top, it says 1776. Can't quite read what it says on top. It says Constitution 1776 on top. Okay. That is a pretty cool building. I like that one. It's in pretty bad shape, but definitely pretty wicked. And right across the street here, now you have to assume that this road wasn't here, but this is the pecan grove here, which is really nice. Georgia Department of Corrections. This is the Scott State Prison. Holly building. But this is a prison, or old prison. And this here is the front gate. So yeah, imagine when you come into this place, you came right through this door, right here, right through these gates. Wicked, no? Now obviously people been going in and out of here. They didn't cut a hole in the fence, but
They did? Oh, they did.
oh, they're not going in there.
That's creepy.
Right? It's really hard to tell. I'm not even going to try to film any of this, but you can't really see the building. It is really overgrown. So we just moved just a little ways from the prison, and we're at Cedar Lane Cemetery. And you can see right behind here, it is just markers. They're all just got numbers on them. But we'll go inside. Let's go take a look. Just give you an overview of what it looked like. And it has been placed on the National Register of Historic Places. Alright, we're at the Cedar Lane Cemetery, just down the road from the hospital. And you can see they have the iron markers. And they just have numbers on them. And there are a few sporadic graves out here. There's some marked graves out here. 1902. There's some back over there. Here's another grave. And they're just kind of spread throughout. You can't really read what it says. Yeah, you can't even see the lettering on it, but yeah, you can't even read. It's so old. But somebody was here putting little statues or rows, plastic rows, and off in the distances. There's another grave back here. And obviously these are knocked over. You can't even read the markers. But this one here, I can't read any names. It just, you can see where the top broke off. It said died October 18th, 1898. So it's up here. And this angel was put here as a guardian to overlook.
I feel like people come here and do.
I can still see a grave way off.
Yeah.
Down in the,
Right there, too.
yeah. There's one grave down off in the woods there. We originally came up here to see the house that we're having built in Ludwig, Georgia, which is about 3 hours away. So we just took a 3-hour drive just to come and visit this area. We wanted to check out the Central State Hospital and all of its grounds and some of the abandoned buildings. Cedar Lane Cemetery. We just found the bronze angel, a guardian place here to overlook people that are buried here. And there is some sporadic graves down in the woods here. A lot of them are so old you can't even read what it says, but there's even a cross, a wood cross here on the tree here. Check out the Cedar Lane Cemetery, which is where we're at right now. And yeah, spooky but very interesting. This is the path you would take to come down to the angel. The markers are up here to the left, so when you first come in through the iron gates, to the right is all the iron markers. And then again, like I said, sporadically throughout the woods here are some graves here, and they're just too old to make out some of the names. Some of the dates you can read, but a lot of them, the top are broken off and you really just can't read what they say. So the restoration project that they did here, that they started in 1997, I'm assuming it's up front here with all the markers. Now obviously I'm assuming there's no one buried here because all of these markers are placed very, very close to each other. Tree planted in the memory of the unidentified patients buried at Central State Hospital. So, for what I've read, this was not a place you wanted to come. And a lot of times, people were sent here even if they were not insane. Alright, so I think that's going to wrap it up. I'm going to wrap it up here at Cedar Lane Cemetery. We just drove 3 hours from where we were from just to check out this place. And I think I'm going to end it right here. We got to go into town and find something to eat. Cedar Lane Cemetery, Central State Asylum, Milledgeville, Georgia. That was it. I just wanted to stop by here, film some of the old buildings. Definitely wanted to film the Powell building. Cedar Lane Cemetery, I wanted to check that out. We were able to do that. Now we gotta head home back to Florida. But if you're in this area, it's a little spooky, but come check out the old buildings. All right, people. Later. Thank you.